The simplest and the most powerful strategy in the Forex trading. I'm Gabriele, I am an Italian Forex trader. I started to trade 7 years ago and it's almost 5 years that is my job. I have yet an Italian YouTube channel and we are more than 13,000, and also in Instagram we are more than 20,000. But I want always to improve myself and become bigger. So what is better than I create a new English YouTube channel and pass to you what is for me in first a very big passion and then it's become my work. Today we are gonna see what for me is the best way to trade with price action. I don't trade with indicator or other things that I don't use. I want only to connect in the simplest way my brain to the chart. Very clean. I want to do a multi-time frame analysis, not to see only one time frame, because in only one time frame I can't understand the big picture of the market. I don't understand why I have to watch only one time frame if I have 5, 6, 7 or 8 time frame. If I watch all, I can understand more and more what the chart want to say to me. I don't want to lose time. We can go to the chart now. For the start, we are gonna to see the checklist that I want to use, and I want to explain to you every single confirm of the checklist so you can understand better in this way. In the future, in the next video, I will explain to you every single point of the checklist with an individual video for everyone. And then after we see the checklist, we will go to the chart and I will show you some entries, some example that we can do with this checklist. We can use this strategy for swing, intraday or scalping, because if we know the fractality of the market, every concept we can use in every time frame, but we have to know how to scale every time frame in the right way. Subscribe to the channel. We have a long journey ahead together. I will do a lot of free video that you can't find in some courses that you have to pay a lot of money, and leave a like to let me know if you enjoyed the video. Let's go. Okay, this is the checklist, nothing too complicated. As I told to you, I don't want to complicate my life with trading, so I want to use the things that I need, not all the things that there are in the market. The trading is beautiful because we can trade in every mood. I don't want to criticize if someone trade in another way, respect than mine, but I like to trade simple, with not a lot of concept that I see today, a lot of strange name to sell some courses more or another things. No, I want to do the simplest things, only my brain and the price action and the chart, okay? No indicator, no other thing. So the first thing that I want to have is the multi-time frame bias in my favor. So what I want to say, I do an example. Sorry for my English, I'm Italian, I'm learning, so I ask you, sorry if everything is not perfect. The biggest mistake that I see today is this. A lot of people trade while watching only one time frame, so they can't understand if the trade that they want to take is good or not. For a lot of people, this is a very good trade. They see an uptrend, they see an higher high, so they want to buy in this demand zone, but they go to stop loss, like in this case, and they don't understand why this trade is going to stop loss. They give the fault to the market, but it's their fault, because if I see only 1 hour time frame, for me this is a very good trade. But if I can't watch the big picture like I told you before, and I see also not only 1 hour time frame, but I see the daily time frame, 4 hour time frame, a bigger time frame, I see that I buy it in this situation. I buy very high, and the first rule in the forex trading is that I have to buy low and sell high. So they give the fault to the market, but they are buying in this situation. It's normal to take a stop loss because the market has to take a brief, has to do a pullback. Is normal to the market, no? So I want to see the multi-time frame analysis for this motivation, because I have to understand the big picture, okay? So the multi-time frame has to be in my favor. This means that in this situation, if the daily time frame is an uptrend, this doesn't mean that I have only to buy, because I know that if the daily time frame is an uptrend, the pullback of the daily time frame in 4 hour time frame can be a pullback, so I can sell in 4-hour time frame, but I want the dominance in my favor. There is another point of the checklist that we have to see: dominance on the operating time frame in our favor. So I can sell because, like I told you, I know there is a pullback. So this is the daily. In the 4-hour time frame, the dominance is bearish, so I can sell. Where? I can sell in my sell to buy. I can take the open of the body, I can sell here, I can put the stop loss up on the spike, and I can sell in this situation, in this way. But I have to know that the maximum take profit is not here, like I see sometime, or here some people would take profit here. This is not the sense, because I know this is a pullback. So the market, when arrives in this demand zone, can with no problem go and continue the uptrend, because in the daily we are in an uptrend, so the higher time frame is always right and it dominates over the lower time frame. So I will put my take profit in this demand zone because it can go and continue the uptrend. So this is the why I want to have the dominance on the operating time frame in my favor, trend in my favor, the same thing like the dominance. Trend is your friend, so if I want the trend in my favor in the time frame that I am operating, the same thing that I told you with the dominance. So I can sell in 4-hour time frame and the trend is bearish, so the trend is in my favor, but in the daily we are bullish, so I can sell but with the maximum take profit here, and the trend is in my favor, and then here I can buy if the market gives to me the confirmation that I want. Entries on institutional patterns or institutional moves, Wyckoff. I will explain to you in the next video the distribution, the accumulation of Wyckoff, but we know the market is manipulated, so I can do my entries in the spring, the hunt to my stop loss, to the liquidity, or in the internal test, or for the accumulation, the jump the quick, for the distribution, the break the ice. I will do a video and I will explain you better this situation, or institutional move. So in the simplest way, in this case, I can place and buy limit on my sell to buy, because in this zone the market has break the last high that they have created, so I know the market can return in this zone and have a reaction, so I can buy in the last selling action of the volumes that then has taken the market to break the last structure. So we have two entry, like I told you, in the buy to sell or sell to buy candles, and if there are psychological levels is better, so the round number, the half round number, or the quartiles. But when I enter in the market, when I put my buy limit, when I put my line, I want ever to put the number theory, because the 20, 50 and 80 are the level that the markets respect more than others. So the market in this case is 48, I can put 50. If the market is in this case 80, is 80, is perfect. If the mark is 19, I will put the round number 872. Okay, like in this way. I will do a video also for these things. And for the additional confirmation, I can use Fibonacci levels, market structure, and inefficiency. But it's normal that if I buy low or if I sell high, there is some level of Fibonacci of the golden ratio. It's normal, so I don't have to put Fibonacci every time. And if there are market structure, some resistance on support for the entries, is perfect. There is another confirmation to my entry. The market can retest and go after the market structure, and I can use the inefficiency for the take profit, for positioning my take profit, for partializing my operation. And I have to put my stop loss level down the spike. If this is a sell to buy, I have to put the stop loss under the spike, or if it is a buy to sell, like in this way, I have to put the stop loss above the spike and I can sell in this way. Take profit level based on the contextual analysis, because if I take only a pullback, like I showed to you before here, if this is only a pullback and I sell here in this buy to sell, I don't put my take profit here because is a uptrend, so I know that the price in this demand zone can continue the long. But if I buy in 4 hours and the market is bullish also in the daily, so I buy in this demand zone and in 4 hour is this thing, okay, I can put the take profit more high. So in this I go to the level for the final extension in Fibonacci. In Fibonacci, I have not to use only the level of the golden ratio, but there are this level minus 0.23, minus 0.718, that there are the level of the end of the extension. So I know that in this level the market can do a pullback, so I can put my take profit here, and I can use these levels also for sell. So if the daily arrives in this level in the 4 hour time frame, in the lowest time frame, I wait a change of dominance, so another confirmation of the markets, my evidence, and I can sell because there is a change of dominance, the trend is bearish, and the market, I know that is in one level of the ends of the extension of the daily. Okay, I think that we have seen everything's clear, and now we can go to the chart to do some example that I do for you, so we can understand better in the practice every example. Okay, this is EURUSD. Like I told you, I want to start to the higher time frame for understand better the situation. We are in the monthly time frame, and I know if I watch the macro structure of the markets that we are in a bearish trend. No, there are a lot of lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and this can be a new lower low. And we are in a very good supply zone, so I know the market can react to this zone. And if I draw Fibonacci in this way, this is the previous leg, I draw Fibonacci from the low to the high, I know that the market, like I told you before, in this level can react, so the market can start to do a pullback. So I know that we are in this supply zone, the market is in the minus 0.618 of Fibonacci, so I don't want to know if the market wants to create a new lower low in the monthly, wants to go, or if it's only one pullback. But they have one same thing, they have this movement together. So I know that the markets can do a lot of flip because we are in the monthly down. I have to see also the candlestick pattern. The buyers are going lower than before, so this is a good things for start a bearish movement. I go to the weekly, I go down in the time frame, and in the weekly I can see better what they are doing. So I delete this zone. I know that this is a hunt of a lot of stop loss, a lot of liquidity, because this is a distribution in Wyckoff. This is a hunt, and I know that when we can see a hunt, the markets can go down because the markets need liquidity, like the car need fuel for this movement. If this is a car and the car has to a lot of kilometers down, the same thing for the market. The market has go down, so the car needs fuel, but the markets needs liquidity. And in this way, the market takes the liquidity. And for understand better, I go to the daily, I delete everything, and in the daily I can see clearly better this hunt, this change of dominance. The dominance was high by here because these buyers had break the last high, so the dominance was high from here, and these sellers has break my buyers zone, so the dominance now is sell from here. So I have the confirm to the market that the sellers are stronger in this moment than the buyers, and the market is ready to go down. This not means that I have 100% possibility that the markets go down. In the trading, we have not ever 100% of possibility that my trade go in profit. If someone tells to you this thing is a fufa guru and is a scammer, it's not true that every position that I open go to take profit. Is impossible. I don't have 100% of probability, but in this way I know that probability is in my favor. So for a trader that works with math, the probability and the risk reward are the two things that, if we combine it together, are top for earn in the market. For the profit, I need only to have 50% of win rate and risk reward 1 to 2. And in this way, in the math way, I go in profit. But we can take the risk reward bigger than 1 to 2, because if we know how to trade multi-time frame, like I am explained to you, we can take some trade and we can entry in a lower time frame, in 1 hour, 2 hours, 30 minutes, but with the movement of 4 hours daily, because we can change the time frame and we can have the precision of the lowest time frame, but with the bias, with the take profit of the higher time frame. And in the daily, I see that the dominance is bearish from here, and if I see well this situation, I can see that is another spike. This is the fractality of the markets. The markets here is taking the liquidity in the daily. This is a distribution in the daily, but in the same way, this is a distribution in the 4-hour time frame. This is the fractality on the market. So I know that here I am in a very good position for do a sell, because this is a lower high, lower low, lower high. So if I sell here, I am selling in the lower high in the daily, but I can do the entry in the lower time frame. So like I told you before, I can take a very good trade with a lot of precision. In 4 hours, this is a distribution. This is the ant. After the ant, we have the change of dominance, because the dominance was bullish from here, because these buyers has break this high, but these sellers as break this buyer. So the dominance going bearish from here. This is the ant of the stop loss of the liquidity, and we know that after the ant there is the internal test. There are 3 movements in the accumulation or in distribution. The first is the ant, the second is the internal test in destruction that the market has tested before, and the third movement, I know, and I will do a video also for this thing for Wyckoff. The third movement is the break the eyes. So we know that when the market break the eyes, for Wyckoff this is the eyes, or if you want to do in a easier way, this is the resistance where the markets go. And when the markets break the resistance, we know that the markets can retest this zone. So I can entry here where in the last buy to sell. This is the last buy to sell, and then the market break this structure. So I can take this buy to sell, but I don't like this buy to sell. I want the buy to sell bigger, the fattest buy to sell, full of liquidity. So I want to take the buy to sell in the lower time frame. In 3 hours time frame is very much better, because it's full. The body is full, is very fat. So I have to take this. I put my entries here with the line. I use the number theory, like I told you before. So 21 is perfect. I use 20, 50, and 80. So 21, this is my entry in the break, the eyes, and the stop loss is above this spike. The take profit depends. In this case, the first take profit in this low before, but I can't put the take profit more down. I can use my Fibonacci from the high to the low before, and I know, like I told you, that the markets can go to the minus 0.23 where there is the last structure, and I know that the markets can do ping pong in this zone. So I can take one take profit here and another here. I can put more take profit. So the last I can put here, but if I want, I can put another take profit here, because remember that we are very high in the weekly and in the monthly. So I know that the market, like we saw before, can do a pullback or a new extension of the market structure of the higher time frame. So we can have fun with this trade. We can see now in 3 hours, the entry was in 3 hours. Okay, the markets take our entry, arrives to the first take profit, and then go down. I am honest with you, I might have closed a lot of position here because was a 1 to 5, a beautiful position, but in this way we took a very good trade from the higher time frame to the lower time frame. Tell me if it's not very much better than see only a single time frame. If I saw only a single time frame, I didn't understand a lot of things that we have understand now. But if we trade swing, we can take another trade because we know that the market is bearish. This is the high, the low, and I know after the pullback that the market can react in this zone. I delete everything. We know that the markets can react to the last buy to sell. You can see how I can use this checklist for the swing, for the intraday, or for the scalp. I can trade in the same way. So I can put my last buy to sell. I put a sell limit here with the stop loss above the spike and the take profit in this situation to the low. So we can go, okay, the market react very well and the markets go down, and I could have taken this trade more down. This is my Instagram if you want to stay updated for every news, and in the future I will do a course. I have a course in Italian, but I am new, as you know, in the English channel, in the English world, so I will work on the course in English for you. This is another example in EURCAD. I start, like I told you, in the weekly, so we are in an uptrend in the weekly. If I see the macro structure, we are in a bullish trend, and I know that the markets now can do a pullback, but I don't have to trade with my ideas. The market doesn't care my ideas. I have to trade only what I see. This is a fundamental rule in trading. I have to trade only what I see, not what I think. So yes, I think that the markets can do a pullback, but for now we are in an uptrend. In the macro structure, this is higher high, higher low, and the higher high macro. And in the micro structure, we are in the same thing, in an uptrend, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So I can do a long in the lower time frame if the markets can give me the situation, the right situation. If I go to the daily, I see the same thing, and I see that the markets here did this thing that we know, that we saw before. This is the hand of the stop loss that we can see better in the lower time frame, in the 4-hour time frame or 8-hour time frame. We see that the markets hunt the previous low, and then after the hunt, the markets does what I want to see. So the markets do an higher high. The dominance was bearish from here. These sellers had break the last low, so these sellers were in control, but then the buyers break this seller's zone, so the dominance now is long from here. This is a hunt. This is the internal text. Like I told you, there are 3 entries that I can do in a wake of accumulation or distribution, in this case accumulation. The first is the hunt. A lot of time they hunt in the last sell to buy. This was the last sell to buy, and they hunted here, and then when they change dominance, they do a lot of time the internal text where, like I told you before, in the last sell to buy. This is the last sell to buy before the buyers broke the seller's zone. So this is the internal text. And for the third and the last entries, we have the jump, the quick in the accumulation. In the distribution, like we see before, we have the break the ice. The only difference is the name, but this is the same thing. So we know that the markets, when break the resistance, can turn or in the resistance or in the last sell to buy. This is the last sell to buy before the market in this point can start to break all the resistance. So I can put my line here, okay. I can go with the number theory 0.7, I can put 20, 50, 80 or 0, but I can do in negative way near the market, so the markets can take my line and go. No, if I put my entries low, the market can go near my entries and go away. So I want to put the number in the negative way near the entry. 20, This is my buy limit and the stop loss after the candle, the spike, but there is no spike, so under the body of the candle. The first take profit here in their eye, and then I can put a take profit where I can go with Fibonacci from the low to the high, and I know that the markets can go where? To the minus 23, that is in the same position with this high, this important high. Okay, this was a distribution. See that the markets do this a lot of time. High and change of dominance, tack, and internal test in the structure, and then they break the ice here in the structure. A lot of things the market do this. The market is manipulated a lot because needs liquidity, like the car needs the fuel. So we can enter here the first take profit in this eye and the last take profit here in this eye in the body. Okay, this is the zone. Okay, perfect. We can see the market take our entry. Here we go to break even. When the markets break the high, we go to break even. Okay, the first take profit and break even. I take 30% of my trade here, and I last 70% go to the second take profit. I am honest with you, I might close here all the trade because, like I told you, okay, we can take the long because we were in an uptrend, but we are very high in the higher time frame, so the market can do a pullback in every moment. So I don't want to be greedy with this operation. I want to take my take profit. So here is a very good trade, is 1 to 7 and is super okay. This is another trade in GBP-CAD. If I see the weekly time frame, I see that the markets do a hunt in this situation because they want to have the fuel to go down, to go bearish. So this is a good indication, and the markets change dominance. The dominance is bearish from years. These sellers breaks a lot of structure, and I see that the markets is doing a very good candlestick pattern for the bearish. So I like the bearish in that situation. I go to the daily, I go down, and I will see better clearly that the markets is retesting this structure, and here there is the last buy to sell, and then the market from here go and break every structure before. So this is a very good zone where the market can react. But like in EURUSD, I don't want to know if the markets want from here go down for the bearish big movement, because this is my high, this is my low, and this is a lower high. So the market can go and do a big movement for the down, but like before in EURUSD, the market can do a big movement but can do only a pullback. So I will take, if there is the possibility, a trade, a short trade, a trade for the short, or for the pullback, or for the big movement. I can take 2 or 3 different take profits. So the one thing that I want to do is Fibonacci. I draw Fibonacci from the low to the high, and I know we are near the minus 23, and I can draw Fibonacci from this low to the high. This is the previous leg, okay? And Fibonacci has arrived in a very good minus 0.23 that is in the same zone with the last structure. So it's a very good zone to have a reaction. I go down, and this is a 4-hour movement. So for the rule, I want the change of dominance in the lower time frame, in 1 hour time frame, for have the best confirmation that I can have. So this is a bullish movement, but like we saw before, if I have the change of dominance here in the lower time frame, I can take the bearish movement, but with the take profit, the first take profit here, because I think that the markets can go down. But like we told before, I don't have to trade with what I think, I have to trade with what I see, and now I am seeing that the market is bullish. So the first take profit is here, and I close a lot of my position here, but I keep some lot open, because if the markets break this structure, the markets can go very down because it's short in the higher time frame. So I know that if I take a sell here is a very good sell because I am selling in the lower high in the weekly, but I'm selling with the precision of 1 hour. So this is the best thing of the multi-time frame. You can have the precision of 1 hour, but take the movement of the weekly, the monthly. So I go to 1 hour, 2 hour, and in 2 hour, this is a very good buy to sell. The last buy before the sell that breaks my dominance. The dominance was high here because these buyers broke these buyers. So the dominance is sell from here. This is my confirmation, and I can put my sell limit here. So I have to draw my line with the number theory 80 is perfect. I keep this zone, and the stop loss is here above this spike. The first take profit, like we saw before here in this demand zone, because the market, we can't know if the markets want to react here, but if they want, they are bullish, so they can. The first take profit here, and the other take profit, we can go very down. Also here in this low in the daily, there is a lot of liquidity under here. So this is a very good point for sell. Also in the higher time frame, we go to 2 hours time frame and we see, okay, the market take the hour zone very good, and the market start to run for the bearish. Okay, and I am honest with you, I'm very transparent. We take the first take profit, but we don't take the second. So we take the first and then the break even, because after the markets break this structure before, we took to break even because the low has broken, but then the markets go to break even. But this is a very good example for the multi-time frame, because this was a very good trade. We took a good movement, a good daily or weekly movement, because this was a weekly movement, but we entered in the lower time frame. This is the last example for the scalping. Like I told you, the same things that we use in the higher time frame we can use in the lower time frame. So I can trade in 5 minutes in the same way like I trade in the daily. So I can start in 4 hours, not in monthly, because if I will entry in 5 minutes, I don't care of the monthly. The 4-hour time frame can do the same work of the monthly in the swing. For the scalping, 4 hour is like the monthly in the swing. So this is my 4 hour. I see we are in a bearish trend. This is a lower low, and I don't understand a lot of things. So I have to go down in 1 hour, and in 1 hour I see that the market does an engulfing here. So is a big confirm for the short, and the market is retesting the structure that was a resistance and then a support. So it's a very good zone, and this is the retest of the structure, but this is not too much. I need another confirm, not only engulfing. Is risky to trade like this. So like before in the higher time frame, I go down, I go in 15 minutes, and I see that the market has changed dominance. This is my confirm. So the market did an engulfing in the higher time frame and is in a very good structure and changed dominance, because the dominance was high from these buyers that they broke the last high, and these sellers broke these buyers. So the dominance now is bearish from here. This is a hint of the previous stop loss, because they need liquidity like every time, and they know that the market can do the internal test. This is a distribution. So I have to find a better candlestick, because there are a lot of candlestick. I want one candlestick. Okay, in 30 minutes this is a very fat, full of liquidity candlesticks. So I take this. Like always, I go with the number theory. 59, 50 is perfect. 20, 50, 80. Okay. I put my entries here and the stop loss above the spike with the first take profit here to the low. but I can go down if I want, because if I see 1 hour time frame, I see if I go with Fibonacci that the markets can go until minus 23 or minus 61.8. So another profit can be here. We can partialize our operation. Okay, we go to the 30 minutes and we see that the markets retest our zone and then go down to the second take profit to the minus 23. And I am honest with you, when the markets take the minus 23, in this case I close whole because it's a very risk reward x16, so it's perfect like this. The first take profit was here, I took 30% of my trade, and there I have to close the last 70%. So also with the scalping we might have take this trade for the short, because I started from the 4 hours. I saw that we were in a bearish movement, and this was a very good structure. This was an engulfing, so a top candlestick pattern confirmation, and in the lower time frame they did a change of dominance that for me is the top in this situation and the ant of the last stop loss, and this was a very good trade. Okay guys, sorry again for my English. This is the first video that I do in English. It's not very easy for me, but like I told you in the start of this video, I want always to improve. I will improve my English, I will improve everything, and I want to do a very great job with this English channel. I will do a lot of video in this channel, and I will explain to you every concept that we see today in an individual video for every concept. So put a like for make me understand if the video likes to you. Leave a comment that I like to see all the comments also in the Italian channels. I love to have a great feeling, great connection with my community. I'm a simple guy that love his work, and his work is his passion, so I want to pass to you my passion, my knowledge. So thank you guys, we will see soon. Subscribe to the channel and have a good day. Bye bye.